Hi folks, Tim here. Welcome back to Elmendorf Acres. Well, today I'm going to do an unboxing video, which is something I don't do a whole lot, but we actually bought the Ego Power Tools Weedwacker and small leaf blower. Now we already have their leaf blower, I have one of their chainsaws, and we have two of their push mowers. But I figured I'd pick up the Weedwacker because it's a great way for Jackson to learn how to weed whack. It's quiet and it's a little bit easier to handle than my big commercial units. So I found that the battery technology in the commercial landscape world is severely lacking, but the Ego stuff is pretty good. It works well for a homeowner or for once in a while if you're doing a little project. You would just need to throw something in the truck. A couple times I've actually brought their chainsaw with me to do a small job, and oftentimes we actually carry it in the landscape trailer, and that way we can buzz something up quick, a big branch or a small tree, just without starting up a gas saw. Plus it's really easy to hang in the trailer. You don't have to worry about gas. We already have the batteries in there. So again, not a huge fan of a lot of the battery power stuff yet. It's still really lacking in the technology and being able to compete with gas. So we are going to unbox this stuff today, and we're going to try to do a test with it here a little bit later. So right now, Hurricane Debbie is passing to our west by, I don't know, probably 150 miles or so. So we're getting some rain from that and a little bit of wind, but it seems to have missed us mostly, which is nice. Did just have a tornado watch come through a few minutes ago, but not too worried about it. Usually we're pretty shielded here at the base of the mountain. It tends to really break everything up as it comes over us. So that's the plan for today, is unbox this, show you how it's packaged, show you how it goes together, and I'm going to be learning with you. All right, let's set this box up here. Now I picked this up at Lowe's, and they're one of the places that have this setup. We already have their little handheld blower. It works well, and it's nice to have a second one. So that was why I bought this actual both things. I didn't just buy the Weedwacker for Jackson. I bought another blower to hang in a trailer. The blower is really, really handy for patios or sidewalks if you live in an area that has sidewalks. We don't have sidewalks in our town. What we do have is a lot of pools, and these work well for the pool decks. So let's see how this is packaged. Comes apart fairly easily. So this one came with a charger and with the battery. So it comes with a 2.5 amp hour battery, which is their smallest battery. We have a couple 2.5 amp batteries. We've got a couple 5s. I've got two 7.5s, and we've got a 10. The 7.5s are for our snowblower, which works really nice. So this is a small. This is definitely one of their smallest batteries. I don't actually even have one this small. This is a lot more compact than some of the other ones. So I'm going to correct myself. What I actually have is 5s, 7.5s, and 10s. So this is going to be our first 2.5 that we have. On the end, it has this little button. You can see the power button, but what you can do is you hit that, and it tells you your power level. And you can see that's not nearly fully charged. When it's fully charged, it'll light green all the way around. And when you're running the tool, this actually stays lit, so you know just how much charge you have left. And once you're right down to basically empty, it'll start blinking red at you. So that's the battery that comes with it. It does come with a charger. Pull that out. Now, one of the things I like with these smaller chargers is it's 210 watts. Now, all of my Super Duties now have a plug, a regular plug like this inside the cab, a 400 watt outlet basically, so I can run chargers. We use them for our DeWalt chargers, and I can bring this with me and charge a battery on this. Now this is their slower charger. They've got fast chargers, but this particular set came with a slow charger. In the other room we have basically their turbo charger set up, so I just plug that in over there. All right, so this is what I really bought it for. Here's our Weedwacker that comes with it. Everything is actually packaged quite nicely. This is supposed to work very, very easily. You are supposed to just be able to put it together like so. And I would say when you do it, watch that wire. You see that cable right there? Make sure you don't pinch that. And just like that. And it has the handle here that we will put on. And this is very similar to the other handles that you would see on much of your other equipment. Again, this is not meant for real commercial work, but much of their stuff works pretty good for the homeowner. What I would recommend with this is put your handle here, and since this is going to be for Jackson to use, we definitely want it in that general area. Handle is a touch hard to click on, but it just snaps over. I didn't put these bolts in yet, but we will. It's got a little spacer piece. You'll see that that's got kind of a semicircle. That goes right against the metal part of the Weedwacker. So make sure you put this part in the right way. The green part actually goes on the outside or the upside of the handle. Top side, whatever you want to call it. And then you've got your wing nut, which goes in over here. So a few people have asked me about the Ego tools. From a commercial landscape perspective and standpoint, I don't think they are great for a commercial guy. But again, this is for someone who has a small yard. Our yard is actually fairly small. But it's for someone who has a small yard, you don't have to worry about gas. And once you have a couple of the batteries, much like DeWalt, the system is all interchangeable. So just snug it up. You don't have to go incredibly tight. And once that's snugged up, you'll see we have this here. And that clips right across the top. Now we just have to find this bolt that goes through. Hopefully it's in here somewhere. Here we are. So this comes with the instructions, which of course, as per normal, I did not read. You have an Allen key, which I will not use this bag, so I'm not going to save it. And you've got a simple screw. So that's just you're just gonna screw that in. Make sure you go and get it set with just your fingers. Don't do it with the Allen key, let's say. That way you don't have anything cross-threaded. And we're just gonna take this down. And we're just gonna snug it up just a little bit. There we go. All right. It has two modes, low and high. And it has something called a power load head. Now, I don't know too much about that, but we're gonna play around with that at some point and learn how to load this head. It does come with instructions along with a little bit of extra string. Interestingly enough, most of their tools come with a pretty decent warranty, somewhere between 1 and 5 years, which is honestly better than most of my commercial stuff. All right, so I pulled the battery off the charger. I let it go a little bit. We've got 3 bars now, and we're just gonna plug it in and test it out. Just like that. All right, so here we are. It balances pretty well. It does have an extendable handle. So if you pull that, you can slide it out. If you're someone a little taller, that's nice for them, or nice for you. And if you are, in my case, the fact that we bought this for Jackson to use around our property, we're gonna run it with the shorter handle. So all of their tools, at least most of them, have a safety. Anything that you can hurt yourself with is gonna have a safety. So when you start this up, you flick it like that. And there we go. Seems pretty good. It's going to tap, much like my commercial units, you tap the head to forward the string out. I will put the guard on this next. So our commercial units, we actually take the guards off of all the weed whackers. I did a video on that explaining why I do it and how it makes financial sense to do it. So you need a Phillips head screwdriver to put this on. There are 2 screws that go in here, and that just clicks right in there. So that's a really simple. One of the things I do like about the Ego system is, as a homeowner or someone who may not know a whole lot about power equipment, it's pretty easy to use. And as with most things, when you are putting a metal screw into plastic, be sure you do not over tighten and strip these out. All right, there we go. And one of the things that's nice with the guard is it protects your face a little bit, but it also limits just how much you're going to be able to cut. This blue right here, this piece of blue tape, we're going to take off. And that has a little blade there, which will then determine the length of the string. That's preset from the factory, so you don't burn these out as fast. There we go. And you can see your orange string, it hits this and it cuts it. So let's do that real quick and see how that part works. Do it so you can see it. There we are. Now you can see that this cut itself just like that. So I think this will be a good tool for Jackson to learn. It does have a low speed, and it has a high speed. So that's it on the unboxing of the Ego Weedwacker. This particular model is, let's see, this particular model of Ego is the ST1510T. So the 1510T. Again, that comes with this 2.5 amp hour battery. It's actually really light, so I think Jackson's going to find this very useful working in our yard. The next part of the setup we have here is the leaf blower. Now, I was very skeptical when I bought their first leaf blower. I didn't think it would do basically any of what I wanted it to do, and it has done that and more. It's very handy for if you are mulching. Our gardening team absolutely loves using these. It's really nice to be able to blow off the area when you're done with the mulch. Blow off a walkway, blow off a driveway. We use it when we're mowing to blow off the small driveways. So we use these when we're mowing to blow off the small driveways. And hopefully you can see here, I will find out when I edit it, but as you look down the tube here, you can actually see the fan that's in there. This is a little bit of the smaller one. This one only blows up to 615 cubic feet a minute. The other one that I have, I think, is just over 700. That clicks on pretty easy. There's a tab here. Just make sure that's seated, and there you go. And then you have a smaller attachment for the front. Clicks on just like that. This one is extremely self-explanatory. Battery clicks in, and you pull the trigger. Now what they have is you can set this yourself to kind of lock on by clicking that. The other option it has is turbo, or some of them call it boost. So you can pull the trigger and then hit that turbo button. Works pretty good. So there you have it, the unboxing video of the Ego Power Tools, their string trimmer, and their 615 CFM handheld leaf blower. Well, there you go. There's your test run with it. Seems to work pretty good, especially for small stuff. It goes against everything I believe in to have a guard on a weed whacker, but for the kids, I think it'll work really well.